I'm Edie Lush, and I'm here in Los Angeles in the Hub Culture Pavilion at the GetGlobal Conference. Really pleased to be joined now by Robert Sun, the founder and president of the American Chinese CEO Society. Now, you help CEOs from both sides of the Pacific
Yes.
come. Tell me about a company that you've helped go from Los Angeles to China.
That's a very interesting story. About probably 6 or 7 years ago, and I met a CEO from a US medical device company called True Vision. And I was very fascinated by their technology. Then I thought this could be a great project that we can get involved to help this company get into China market.
And in medical devices.
Yes, it's a 3D visualization system for microsurgery. And so when I first talked to the CEO said, no, I don't want to go to China. I said, why? Then he explained to me the fear of losing the IP.
Right.
Because there are a lot of the bad media, stories about companies in China copy. Then I understand his fear
concern.
and the concern. So I start to spend time with him and his company, try to learn about the technology. The more I learn, I think such a great opportunity because China's healthcare industry has been growing so fast. Then finally, I said, I'm gonna maybe invest in your company. So they accepted.
So you built some trust.
Trust is very important, especially for different culture, different country. So when I go to China, then I said, you like to go to China? So the CEO, the first time he wasn't ready, but the second time he said, sure. So when I was in China, I showed him, some companies, very large corporation in the medical device, fields. Then also went to visit hospitals. Then he sees all this activities in China. He was so carried away.
Right. And what happened?
He said, Robert, we should do this. So that's the story started. So we get into a JV, discussion with a very large corporation in China. Then things just, get into, deeper. Then finally we got this company into China.
So start to finish, when you got involved to when they started selling into China, how long was that?
Actually, the negotiation for setting up the JV, about 1.5 years. Then as far as getting other things into the market takes longer.
Right.
Because when you talk about high tech, a lot of training and a lot of the study of the market, things like that.
And tell me about a company, I know you worked with Huawei, bringing them to California. Now, how did that come about?
Well, American Chinese CEO Society is a platform. So when people from China, the companies, they look for people that they can work with to find a way into the mainstream. And for Huawei, it's a very interesting situation because they're such a large company around the world. And they do about $50 billion a year. So when they ask for a dinner meeting, and of course I was very happy. But when we were talking at the dinner table, and I was wondering, such a large company, what can we do for them?
Right.
So when we talk about that, the CEO from North America just told me blank. Well, we don't know anybody here.
Right.
Oh, I said, that's easy because we have many members. Then we know all the people in Southern California, lots of CEOs. then I said, that will be something we can help you.
Right. So it's about relationships.
About relationships. So we, put together some events, invite people to come to meet Huawei. Then we have a couple hundred people at the first time, the second time even more. So get just connected because all these companies have certain things to offer to Huawei, can help them.
Yeah.
So.
And tell me just what would be the, if you were going to advise about the governments in the US and China, which one's more difficult to deal with?
I think it's different. I feel very comfortable to work with government, both sides. The reason is I worked for the government in China before I came to the US 32 years ago. I was in the foreign service. I had an opportunity to work with the leaders at a central level, provincial level, city level. And so I know the system. And then for US, after I came here, actually I got in touch with the people I met in China when they led delegation to China when I was back in China in the foreign service. So my way of doing things, just make friends.
Yeah.
Not necessarily I need something for him to do. While you're making friends, you have no, agenda. It's very easy because you become friends.
Yeah.
Then when you have certain needs, then you reach out to them, say, sure, we help you. But of course, the government in China versus US, they're all changing all the time. Policy change. So these are things we need to follow. So that's why I make trips to China every year, not only myself, but I take delegations from our member group. Also invite, business from Southern California or from, other parts of the US. And so when you have relationship, then you keep the relationship active. Then when you want something to be done, need help, they're there.
Ask.
They're there.
Robert, thank you so much for stopping by the Hub Culture Pavilion.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
In Los Angeles, and I'm Edie Lush.